If you were a genetic engineer and you had a jar of acacia genes in one hand and the tools to manipulate them in the other, it's hard to imagine improving on the combination of beneficial traits that you've already got in some of these species. As we find out new things about the acacias, we're really writing the book for the future.
Our national flower, the iconic Australian wattle, otherwise known as the Australian acacia, also bears hope for the world's hungriest, drought-stricken people.
The versatility of these species and their multi-purpose uses have many implications for reducing poverty and addressing malnutrition.
The world is full of different types of acacia trees, and the difference between Australian acacias and acacias in Africa, for instance, is that the seed is edible.
With a near-perfect genetic composition for survival in the most degraded and arid of environments, the world is beginning to learn of this wonder plant's many benefits. Planted on farmlands, acacias can be used as windbreaks, provide shade for livestock, inhibit erosion and replenish the soil with nutrients and organic matter.
There's been a lot of success with Acacia saligna for reforestation.
They also offer fuel for household cooking and keeping families warm, as well as producing timber for the building of homes and infrastructure.
Essentially, the trees act as a kind of a cash bank, because in the big cities in Niger, there's always demand for firewood for cooking and poles for building materials. So if you're holding some trees on your farm, you can still cash in the wood and get some money and buy some food.
For over 40,000 years, Indigenous Australians have known the nutritional value and importance of the Australian acacia. High in protein and carbohydrates, its seeds can be ground to make flour and consumed by children and adults in a variety of ways, even roasted as a substitute to coffee.
The acacia is quite nutritious. It's very high in protein.
The carbohydrate in it is very slowly absorbed by the body, so normally when you eat a starch or a sugar, it's broken down quickly, it enters the bloodstream in a great peak, and then it quickly drops away. Nothing is lower GI than acacia seed.
Nowadays, our Australian wattle has roots in Africa, offering a much-needed seed of hope for vast numbers of drought and hunger-affected people.
Most of the people in Africa are using it as a flour, probably mixing it in 20% with some of their normal foods.
Typically harvested late in the dry season, the acacia has the ability to offer food at a time of year when hunger and famine often strike, positioning this iconic Australian plant as a simple yet powerful force against world hunger for the future.
There's a very good feeling about it and a common ambition, I think, to see this work come to fruition.
World Vision is building on 2 decades of acacia research so that farmers can become more self-sufficient, especially in the most difficult climates, and produce more nutritious food for their families.
I do think it has huge potential as a secondary food source.
It's just a matter of making very small changes. A bit more food and a bit better food could be all that's needed to make the difference.
So we've learned an awful lot about the social side and the genetic side and the agriculture side of it, but still more to learn.